All right. Hello, this is Bo, and these are my bees. So, I would just like to talk about how many colonies a new beekeeper should start off with. I believe that the answer is two. I'm not going to have suspense or there or whatever. I just think that uh, beginning beekeepers should know uh, that there's some things that can happen that can really oh uh, derail your beekeeping journey if you decide to start off with less than two colonies to start. Here, let's get into it. Here's a couple of things that can happen. Oh, so when I first got bees, at the spring of 2022, which is 3 springs ago now. It's my third year, starting off to be a third year beekeeper. Um, what happened was I got one colony. It was I believe it was a 4, maybe 5 frame nuke. So a couple frames of food, couple frames of brood, and everything I need to, get a new colony started. Anyways, a few weeks in to having that oh nuke, I went ahead and put it in a 10 frame deep, and I don't know, because that's what I start off with is 10 frames. Just had a couple boxes. I moved to 8 frames quickly before I bought any equipment, um, because 10 frames suck and 8 frames are a lot better. Um, just for the weight. I've been in a bunch of car wrecks and everything. Oh, ADHD is starting to get me. So let's get back on track. So what happened was I noticed that my bees, there was like a bunch of oh eggs laid in each cell, and I said, hey, that looks like I've done my research and everything, and I geeked out on bees, and that looks like I could be a laying worker, a laying whatever, a drone laying queen, whatever. What's going on? And then I waited because I had seen that people said that sometimes the queens they have misfire. That's kind of, they start off like that sometimes with laying multiple eggs in the cell, but that wasn't the case. It just kept going like that for the next few days, and then I went ahead and took a picture, sent it off to the beekeeper, and I said, okay, I think I've got a drone layer, and he says, yeah, I think you do too, and he said he'd go ahead and get me a queen right, make sure and get me a queen right nuke. And so he actually just replaced that, gave me a queen right nuke. I went ahead and he explained I'd go to, what I would do is go and shake the bees, you know, 40, 50 feet away from the colony, so that the drone layer didn't come back. And then I'd go ahead and place the new nuke in there, and in that colony. And then when the bees came back, well, now they've got a queen right colony, good to go. And so I didn't realize that you can actually lose. You could go queenless and have a drone layer. I didn't know that was a thing uh, until it happened, and I typed in the symptoms or whatever, like this is what's going on in the hive, and it's like popped up. And, oh my gosh! Um, Another thing that can happen. Moving on from that, so that's number one, is you could have a drone layer, and if you only have one colony, well, if you order a package or a nuke or whatever, and you have a drone layer, then what, are you done for the season? I mean, that sucks. Your first year, got all the jitters, and you've been, the excitement, and then, you're just done. Um, if you can't get, a frame with some brood on it, or so they can make their own real quick, or can't. I mean, gee whiz, you're just in a pickle. Of course, you could order a queen and everything, but you got to do it really quick before the bees get a little older and meaner and blah blah blah. They don't want to accept her, and you want to those nurse bees. Um, anyways, so nurse bees they'll accept a queen more readily than the older gals. The older gals, it's best to just disband the colony, I think, and um, move on, depending on how long they've been queenless. Um, anyways, if they've been queenless long enough, they just go ahead and disperse, and it's just a dead out for whatever reason, and that's the reason. But nature will take care of it. Nature will take care of it itself. Um, so that's the number one reason is having a drone layer is why you don't ever want to start off with just one colony. All right. The second reason, number two, all right, and this happens to people, just like the drone layer, it's not always going to happen, but these are things that can happen, is you can get, your colony could abscond. And, especially if you say you get a package instead of a nuke. So if you get a nuke, you've got you've got drawn out frames, deep frames, or they sell medium nukes now. I'm getting into the weeds with this, but anyways, they've got a reason to stay because they've got essentially the house is built. All you need to do is provide a roof, put the roof on it, lid, and so you're probably not going to abscond if you got a nuke. If you have a package, then no, they don't have anything built. There's no comb. Unless you've got comb. But if they don't have any housing, well, a lot of times there's just no reason to stay, and so they're just going to leave, and they can happen. It's something that happens, and if that happens, I'll tell you what, I love a package, a swarm, just because in that type of situation, the bees know they gotta build comb, and they can be really just comb building, just maniacs, which is awesome, because they know they have to do it. So get that syrup on them and whatever, feed them and get a build. Come on, second. So anyways, like I said, they can abscond, and what absconding means is they can just leave. Now, a couple ways you could go ahead and stop that from happening is you could put the queen in like a queen clip for a couple days, so she can't leave, because the colony, they ain't gonna leave without their queen, most likely. But bees do weird things. I mean, it's bees. It's half art, half science. So so those are two things that I think that new beekeepers really need to consider when making a decision on if they want to start off with how many colonies they want to start off with. And the third reason, okay, I got a third one. It just popped up in my head. So there's a bee on my finger. There you go. The third reason, a bee on my finger, is, gosh, I forgot what it was. What was the third thing? Oh, yeah, that's what it was. Compare and contrast. So if you just think about this, like, if you just had one car that was a manual transmission automatic transmission, all right? And that's all you learned was just a car with manual. It's got two pedals. It's got, brake and gas, all right? And that's all you learned on. And then that car, for whatever reason, breaks down. Somebody drops off a car with a manual transmission, all right? Now it's got three pedals. It's got clutch, gas, brake. And say you read up on how to drive that, but you didn't get any practice. How are you going to do? How are you going to get to work? I mean, how are you going to be going through the four-way stops? You know, I mean, if you don't have anything to compare and contrast, that's the third reason to always start off with two colonies. Because if you can't compare and contrast what the difference is, how many, how many eggs is this queen laying versus that queen? You know, how aggressive is this colony versus that colony? You can have two colonies right by each other, and one that is just spicy like tamale. You know, I mean, they're hot, they're ankle biters, you know. And then you can have bees like this, you know, like mine, that you know, look at here, land on me so I can show the people, you know. The bees are flying everywhere. Essentially, I'm right in front of a freaking colony. You shouldn't do that. Well, I'm not blocking it. I'm a little ways away, but you know, I mean, they're used to me. We're buddies, you know. We're hanging out. And does every bee like know me and everything? Like, no, of course not. Whatever. Oh my gosh, I get in these tangential freaking blah blah blahs. But all that being said, uh, you know, okay, there's so many things to compare and contrast. Um, One colony might they might produce a propolis so much better and have a nice propolis envelope. Uh, One colony may bring in so much more nectar. You know, colony might build up so much faster. There's so many things. You know, one colony, the queen might she might hide from you. She might be a sneaky one, and you can never see the queen. But then another one, she don't care. She's laying like crazy, and you know, she'll let you see her all the time. You know, when you're starting off, here's a fourth reason. All right, so we've got number one, drone layer. That's a reason to have two colonies, so you can move resources. Because if you got two colonies and you have a drone layer, then you can go ahead, move a frame of bees over to the drone laying colony. Boom, they can make their new queen, and you can get a second chance at it. It does nothing for sure. It's agriculture, but you got another shot. All right, before you can just combine them. Number one is drone layer. Number two is what was number two? I don't know. You got resources. I'm just talking so much. I forgot where I was at. But anyways, there was a fourth reason, and I forgot what it was. But like once you get to talking about this, there's just so many reasons to never start off with one colony. It's just a bad idea. It's a bad idea, you know. And this isn't an upsell. This is this is just my experience and what I think would, you know, serve you best, the potential or beginning beekeeper, because you know, there's so many people that just want to freaking, you know, sell you like one package. Like there's this beekeeping association out of this town here in the United States, and they just get so excited about package day, you know, selling packages, you know, and I'm like, yeah, that's great, you know. I only had to buy bees, you know, one time, you know, and that's the way it should be. People shouldn't be buying bees, you know, year after year after year after year. And that might have sounded like, whoa, dramatic, but it's true. Some people, they just buy bees, you know, every year for half a dozen years, because nobody is telling them this stuff, that hey, you know, no, you don't want freaking one colony, you know. Well, one is none and two is one, you know. With bees, it's a numbers game. I mean, look at this. Okay, think about this. Last year I was a 2-year beekeeper, right? You're gonna love this. So last year I'm a 2nd-year beekeeper, and I go ahead and I start off with 2 colonies. All right. I splitted those. I broke those down, split them up to where I don't know how many colonies with those splits. Well, I guess I could do the numbers. I got 7 swarms last year. All right, 7 swarms. Start off with 2 colonies. So that's 9, or no, what's 20? Anyways, I ended up with 22 colonies. I topped out at 22 colonies in July, middle of July, and then my dad, he went out and Oh, he actually passed away in September, heart attack. But God bless his soul. So I made it up to 22 colonies. That included catching 7 swarms. Um, and for the swarms, just freaking use a 5-gallon bucket and freaking swarm commander and look up how to do that. And you make them for cheap. You don't have to buy freaking stuff for expensive. It don't matter. But look up that one dude that freaking did all that swarm research. But anyways, this is what happens with me. My brain don't work right. I get to talking and I talk too much. I'm tangential, like all over the place. But that's just me. And but anyways, lots of good stuff with bees. Don't start. Do yourself a favor. Don't start off with one colony. Um, oh. But anyways, like I said, oh no, that's what I was going with. Is like the fact that how many bees you can lose and everything. So check this out. So I made it up to 22 colonies, and then my dad dusted his cattle within like 60, 70 feet of 7 of my colonies, and these weren't the swarm. These are just random 7 colonies. Actually, they were a bunch of splits from the original spot. And anyways, it was this Perithrian fly dust. And I think I've got videos. Yeah, I've got videos on YouTube about it, like what happened to my bees. And all 7 of those colonies just died immediately. It was just a dead. I mean, they were just poisoned. I've got video of it. Anyways, so that brought me from 22 to 15, just like that. All right. Then I go ahead and I'm at 15, and I had to combine a few because I had like little dink, like there were some of them. They're just dink colonies. So I don't know the exact number, but I think probably 3 or 4. Let's just say 4 were little dink colonies, and I just went ahead and shook the bees. Because I knew I've researched, and like these little dinky, like these little softball size colonies, they don't make it through winter. Just freaking just combine them. Just go shake the bees and combine them to a colony that or put those frames up, whatever. Don't even bother with it. Let them die out. That's what I did with one, just to see. But it did. It just died out. So it's at 15. So I combined 4. So minus 4, 15. That brings me down to 11. Then I had 1 abscond. I did have 1 abscond. And I had 1 little dink that I left just to see what happened with lots of honey and everything. And they couldn't make it. This year it got to like 0 and minus 10 for like 10 days. It's a little over a week. Massive cold snap come through North America. I think most people experienced it. I'm up here in Washington State, Idaho border. And so anyways, so yeah, 7 from a pesticide kill, 4 combined, all right, and then 1 dead out and 1 abscond, and that brought me from 22 colonies down to 9. And you're like, what? 22 to 9? That is crazy. But that's bees, and so say if those 7 weren't killed, then 9 plus 7 is 16. And so I still went from 22 to 16, which probably would have been about 14, because 2 of those, stuff probably would have happened. So at any rate, you can see that in that example why it's so important to start off with to have the colonies, to have those resources. And I think I've really driven that point home. And I just want to thank you for just watching this, and go run your own experiments, do your own thing. There is no gatekeepers for beekeeping. Have fun with it, and when people try to tell you that you can't, it has to be done like this. You can't do that. Do your own thing, the one thing is, oh, they're animals, water bugs. They're alive, and they die. And so to have more colonies, you've got more options, and I guess that's where that was going with that. But anyways, that's me, and that's my 2 cents on it. And I hope you found this entertaining and informative, and hope you have a blessed day.